And welcome back to Bible Study by the Pond. Rebel and I invite you to join us for Genesis chapter 27. When Isaac was old and his eyes were so weak he could no longer see, he called for Esau, his older son, and said to him, "My son." "Here I am," he answered. Isaac said, "I am now an old man, and don't know the day of my death. Now then, get your weapons, your quiver and bow, and go out to the open country to hunt some wild game for me. Prepare me the kind of tasty food I like and bring it to me to eat, so that I may give you my blessing before I die." Isaac here was going against the command of God. The younger was to have the blessing of God, was to carry on the covenant. The older was to serve the younger. But Isaac here allowed his feelings and emotions to get in the way. He allowed what he wanted. Anytime we allow emotions to get in the way of our duties and responsibilities, we cause so many problems. The domino effect. It just keeps sliding on down, hurting people. Now Rebekah was listening as Isaac spoke to his son Esau. When Esau left for the open country to hunt game and bring it back, Rebekah said to her son Jacob, "Look, I overheard your father say to your brother Esau, 'Bring me some game and prepare me some tasty food to eat, so that I may give you my blessing in the presence of the Lord before I die.' Now, my son, listen carefully and do what I tell you. Go out to the flock and bring me 2 choice young goats, so I can prepare some tasty food for your father, just the way he likes it. Then take it to your father to eat, so that he may give you his blessing before he dies." Again, Rebekah is doing the same thing. Instead of both of them trusting God and doing what God required, they're letting their feelings and emotions interfere. How sad. Jacob said to Rebekah, his mother, "But my brother Esau is a hairy man, and I'm a man with smooth skin. What if my father touches me? I would appear to be tricking him and would bring down a curse on myself rather than a blessing." His mother said to him, "My son, let the curse fall on me. Just do what I say. Go and get them for me." So he went and got them and brought them to his mother, and she prepared some tasty food, just the way his father liked it. Then Rebekah took the best clothes of Esau, her older son, which she had in the house, and put them on her younger son Jacob. She also covered his hands and the smooth part of his neck with the goatskins. Then she handed to her son Jacob the tasty food and the bread she had made. He went to his father and said, "My father." "Yes, my son," he answered. "Who is it?" Jacob said to his father, "I am Esau, your firstborn." That was a deliberate lie, breaking the 10 Commandments, and how much trouble was caused because of it. "I have done as you told me. Please sit up and eat some of my game so that you may give me your blessing." Isaac asked his son, "How did you find it so quickly, my son?" "The Lord your God gave me success," he replied. Then Isaac said to Jacob, "Come near so I can touch you, my son, to know whether you really are my son Esau or not." Jacob went close to his father Isaac and touched him and said, "Who touched him?" and said, "The voice is the voice of Jacob, but the hands are the hands of Esau. He did not recognize him, for his hands were hairy like those of his brother Esau, so he blessed him. "Are you really my son Esau?" he asked. "I am," he replied. Then he said, "My son, bring me some of your game to eat, so that I may give you my blessing." Jacob brought it to him, and he ate. And he brought some wine, and he drank. Then his father Isaac said to him, "Come here, my son, and kiss me." So he went to him and kissed him. When Isaac caught the smell of his clothes, he blessed him and said, "Ah, the smell of my son is like the smell of a field, like the Lord that the Lord has blessed. May God give you of heaven's dew and of earth's richness, and abundance of grain and new wine. May nations serve you and peoples bow down to you. Be Lord over your brothers, and may the sons of your mother bow down to you. May those who curse you be cursed, and those who bless you be blessed." After Isaac finished blessing him, and Jacob had scarcely left his father's presence, his brother Esau came in from hunting. He too prepared some tasty food and brought it to his father. Then he said to him, "My father, sit up and eat some of my game, so that you may give me your blessing." His father Isaac asked him, "Who are you?" "I am your son," he answered, "your firstborn, Esau." Isaac trembled violently and said, "Who was it then that hunted game and brought it to me? I ate it just before you came, and I blessed him, and indeed he will be blessed." When Esau heard his father's words, he burst out with a loud and bitter cry and said to his father, "Bless me, me too, my father." But he said, "Your brother came deceitfully and took your blessing." Esau said, "Isn't he rightly named Jacob? He has deceived me these 2 times. He took my birthright, and now he's taken my blessing." Then he asked, "Haven't you reserved any blessing for me?" All Jacob cared about was the spiritual blessing. Esau, he didn't care about the spiritual blessing. He wanted the material blessings. Even though it was a deception, the blessing of Isaac to Jacob was confirmed by God. God will work through our mistakes. It'll be more difficult. It is best to let God work all things out to His name's honor and glory. When we meddle with our own feelings and emotions, all we do is mucky things up. But everything that we do, we should be looking for the spiritual blessings more than the worldly blessings. The worldly blessings, they just rot, go away. We lose them. They get destroyed. But the spiritual blessings last forever. Isaac answered Esau, "I have made him lord over you, and have made all his relatives his servants, and I have sustained him with grain and new wine. So what can I possibly do for you, my son?" Esau said to his father, "Do you have only one blessing, my father?" "Bless me too, my father." Then Esau wept aloud. His father Isaac answered him, "Your dwelling will be away from the earth's richness, away from the dew of heaven above. You will live by the sword, and you will serve your brother. But when you grow restless, you will throw his yoke from off your neck." You see, Esau had married what we would call worldlings, unchristians, people who did not honor or worship the God of heaven, and they carried Esau away from God. We must be very careful in our relationships with the world, in all that we do. We need to gather around us those who love Jesus Christ and desire to serve Him. Esau held a grudge against Jacob because of the blessing his father had given him. He said to himself, "The days of mourning for my father are near. Then I will kill my brother Jacob. The same will happen in the world soon. Those who claim to be Christians, those who claim to serve God, will hate those of us who actually do serve God, who desire the spiritual blessings and not the worldly blessings. And they will come at us and attempt to kill us because they are jealous of the blessings that God has given us. When Rebekah was told what her older son Esau had said, she sent for her younger son Jacob and said to him, "Your brother Esau is consoling himself with the thought of killing you. Now then, my son, do what I say. Flee at once to my brother Laban in Haran. Stay with him for a while until your brother's fury subsides. When your brother is no longer angry with you and forgets what you did to him, I'll send word for you to come back from there. Why should I lose both of you in one day?" Then Rebekah said to Isaac, "I'm disgusted with living because of these Hittite women. If Jacob takes a wife from among the women of this land, from Hittite women like these, my life will not be worth living." Again, instead of waiting for God to work out His will, His divine plan, the humans stepped in and tried to accomplish it themselves. Instead of just working with God and doing what He commands, they decided to overrule God. Rebekah never saw her son again. There are consequences to breaking God's law, to trying to do it our way, to letting our emotions, our feelings, our egos, and our pride get in the way of simple, humble obedience to Jesus and His commands. Thank you for being with us today.